Welcome to the news belt of the show. And in our first story, President Akakpo is asking for workable solutions to address challenges identified with the customary land system in parts of the country. The system, which exists in most urban areas, especially here in Accra, entrusts lands in the hands of indigenous communities and is administered in accordance with their customs, as opposed to the statutory tenure system. Now, this is said to be responsible for the multiple sale of land. Addressing an ongoing National Land Management Conference, the president called for pragmatic ways of ending the menace.
Of land demands that its effective and efficient management requires the collaboration of various actors. Stronger partnership is required between government, judiciary, traditional authorities, civil society organizations, and the private sector to fashion out pragmatic and workable relationships to govern land ownership, land tenure, and land use. Unfortunately, in our urban areas, the customary land system has been the bane of most of our problems, such as double sales of land, wrongful sales of lands by people without capacity, multiple claims to land by different stools, skins, clans, or family, among others.
Prepare to pay more for road tolls. That's according to Roads Minister Kwesi Atta, as government makes a major U-turn to reintroduce the levy only a year after it abolished it. When reintroduced, road users would have to pay more and collections will be done electronically. Here's the Roads Minister, Kwesi Atta.
Certain highways, when built to the right specification, will come with towing facilities. But those towing facilities, will be electronic towing facilities. It won't come like the form we used to have in the past, where people were in a queue for a very long time. A whole year, we were getting an average of 78 million, cedis. If you deduct salaries and whatever from it, how much is left? Depending upon the ground condition, that amount of money cannot even build 10 kilometers of road. Now saying, depending upon the ground condition of the road that you want to construct. If all of us had contributed to the e-levy, it would have brought in a lot of money to replace the original tolls. And we would have built more roads for ourselves. Tolls have not been cancelled or abolished. The law is still there. So if they have to be in the queue for 2, 3 hours, 4 hours, and you get there and you pay 50 pesos, Ghana was paying the lowest toll in the whole world. I challenge anybody who can tell me any country which was paying tolls lower than Ghana. We were paying the lowest toll in the whole world. Okay? Meanwhile, we want excellent, good roads in our country. And rightly so. If every Ghanaian, including yourself, myself, yes, we want good things, we must be prepared to pay for. Tolls, if they should come back, it will come in a different form. We will no longer be paying the 50 pesos and the 1 cedis, and no, it will come. If you travel abroad, tolls, and many people travel abroad, okay? Tolls, very expensive, okay? Tolls are very expensive abroad. That is why, and that's how come they are able to build good roads.
Well, from roads, the big guns are slugging it out for who takes charge of running the National Democratic Congress going into the 2024 elections. Now, that contest will be decided on the 17th of December, but before that, party delegates will have to decide who will lead the charge in galvanizing the youth. So in barely 2 days, the party will meet to elect its national youth organizer, and the stakes are high for contestants in the battle. The incumbent, George Opariado, is facing a stiff contest. Samuel Mbura from the political desk throws some light on the man who is determined to see off his rivals and extend his tenure.
I picked the youth wing that was totally dead. Over 80 constituency branches were trained by George Opariado.
That is George Opariado, known as Pablo in the political circles. He is not only the incumbent, but one with years of grassroots political experience. He was once the youngest ever municipal chief executive for Ikuapim North in the Eastern region, appointed by the late John Evans Atami's regime in 2009 at the age of 27 years. He has tasted his fair share of political defeats, losing twice as a parliamentary candidate for the Okere constituency. In 2018, he tasted victory and became youth organizer for the NDC, promising a revolution in resources mobilization.
2018, maybe a national youth organizer on my own. The top pickups 5 at the NDC youth wing. I gave out motorbikes. I have been quiet because of certain things.
Today, Pablo believes the NDC is getting stronger under his watch.
Look at the 10 we have today. The most vibrant. Look at the NDC's performances in 2020 on those campuses.
He facing another contest this time is promising to make the youth wing even more attractive.
We are looking at making sure that we recruit a lot of more young people. We have laid down cogent measures, good strategies that are going to attract any more young people to the NDC.
This will be a tough contest. Project Jemfi, his close contender in the last election, who is also a former youth organizer of the NDC in the Ashanti region, is back in the race again.
We have presented a very timid youth front, which is not good for us as an opposition party. The posture is not what Ghanaians want to see. Very weak. We need to change that face.
This time, he appears more prepared to face the incumbent and has already started punching holes into some achievements of Pablo. He has, for instance, dismissed as untrue claims that he bought and distributed vehicles to all constituencies with his own resources. He said former President John Mahama funded it and wants him to stop peddling what he describes as lies to delegates.
I have decided not to speak, but don't resort to cheap propaganda and insults. And I do politics of conviction. I have served the NDC work.
This weekend, the delegates will decide who to believe.
Now, in our next story, indigents of Asante Mampong have cautioned the Minerals Commission against granting prospecting licenses to mining companies without recourse to the interest of affected communities. This follows the persistent issuance of prospecting licenses to gold mining companies to concessions in the Mampong traditional area. Now, the concerned citizens of Mampong against Galamsey and the local traditional council have vented their displeasure against the Minerals Commission to rope the community into what they describe as a Galamsey arena. There is more in this report.
Clad in black with red arm and headbands, the activists drawn from in and out of Asante Mampong emphasized on the ravaging impact of mining in most operational areas. Perturbed by the imminent threat to the 5 water sources in the area, the group questioned the mandate of the Minerals Commission in safeguarding mining communities.
One may ask why the citizens are against Galamsey.
Victor Wusu is lead convener.
The Minerals Commission is supposedly required to create a congenial atmosphere in which all stakeholders, and we say emphasis ours, all stakeholders work as partners in a safe environment to achieve sustainable development through mining. The big question is, did the Minerals Commission, in granting the minerals rights to prospective companies to mine in the Asante Mampong traditional area, engage the people as stakeholders in any form? Was there any stakeholder engagements or consultations? Did the Commission do any due diligence as to the effect of surface mining operations on rivers and water bodies in Asante Mampong? The careless abandon which the Minerals Commission grants mineral rights to prospectors without recourse to the interests of the communities, in our view, smacks of an irresponsible organization, battering the lives of people without shame or a feeling of guilt.
According to the group, the Minerals Commission in November 2022 issued a license to Active Target Minerals Resource, a gold mining company, to prospect lands and forest reserves in the area. This follows an initial opposition by the Mamponhene, Dasibre Osebonsu II, to a similar offer to Arient's company in 2019. The license withdrawal of the latter came with the bestowment of the Benimhene. Nana Boachi Yadom is Jasehene.
No, Yenimsa Sembiada. I fed the Bayan said, Ebesan Babio, a Municipal Assembly, at the command Municipal Chief Executive said, Yeah, Baby,
we thought everything had returned to normal. Later, we saw a notice at the Municipal Assembly that they will be introducing mining at Benin. Minerals Commission has turned a blind eye to the negative consequences of mining. Asante Mampong, as a silver stool in the Asante Kingdom, serves as a major trading center to both native and foreign traders in the northern part of the region. Despite the dwindling economic situation in the area, traders here are in consent with the communal decision, but there are some who welcome responsible mining. It's a good initiative. Galamsey is destroying communities, but the youth here need jobs. If it's going to be responsible, they should introduce it. Communities are always involved in illegal mining, but they are still suffering. We agree with them if they are fighting it. If it's going to be responsible, then the leaders should consider it, because we need jobs. But if it's going to be legal, then they should reject it. Traditional leaders and residents of Asante Mampong are resolved in rejecting the harrowing impacts of mining on both economic and social activities. For Joy News, Emmanuel Bright Kweku reporting.
Now, rickety and poorly maintained vehicles on roads across the country remain a major nightmare for commuters. Despite efforts by the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, the Motor Transport and Traffic Department of the Ghana Police Service, and other stakeholders to curb the situation, Ghana's roads are still flooded with these vehicles, causing fatalities. Fortunately, some computer science students of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology are using number plate recognition to determine the roadworthiness or otherwise of your vehicle. Love FM's Kwesi Deborah has more on Tech Thursday.
And I'm Theophilus Bucci. And our project was to basically create a number plate recognition model which has the features of detecting number plates, recognizing the characters within the number plates, extracting its details, and cross-checking it across our database to verify the ownership details of vehicles. Our project is into two parts, which is image recognition and image detection also.
So our project is in two parts. We have the image detection and then the object recognition. The image detection part is where our model would take a reference image or video. So it scans from the image and then just confines everything to this number plate region. That's the region of interest. Anything else is irrelevant. So based on the number plates being detected, it will try and recognize the characters that are found inside the number plates we have here. So this is a sample extraction we have as shown here. So it's trying to extract the characters we have here, then it extracted it as AS538712.
And with across our database, it's able to verify with the extracted details given the authenticity of the number plate itself, cross-checking it with the owner's driver's license. It checks the vehicle's roadworthiness, and also if it's reported as a stolen vehicle, it's able to track its geolocation or send an SMS feature when it's reported or seen around.
When it extracts the character and then it references with our database, it will try and then check if the vehicle is roadworthy. So based on our database, what we use to check for roadworthiness is the insurance and if the driving license card has expired. That's what we used to check based on what we have done. So once it checks, and if there is no insurance and the driving license card has expired, the ID of the driving license has expired, then that means that the vehicle is not roadworthy. So it will send a message to a target number. So let's say, for example, we have a target number, let's say a police separate number. Then it will send all those information to the police number that this particular vehicle, it would reference the particular vehicle and say that this vehicle is not roadworthy. So basically what our model does is, it shows the number of objects being detected. That's the license plate being detected here. So, and here it's showing only one. So total objects detected here is 1. That is for the license plate. And over here it's showing the accuracy of the license plate being detected. And here it's showing a 94% accuracy that this here is a license plate. Then it shows the extracted characters on top here. So based on that extracted characters, in our console, it tries to log in the details of the owner. So this is the details of the owner. So license plate number, that is it. Then the owner, Kelvin Opoku Ajimai.
Up next, a South African company is sensitizing Africans to patronize African-made wine. As part of promoting African-branded products, Don Emilio, a Ghanaian-based company, has partnered with Wines of South Africa to promote African wine. The Director of Agricultural Economic Services in South Africa, Bongiswa Matoti, believes that African countries have the needed resources to dominate their market. There is more in this report.
Wine consumption in Africa has increased over the years, with most brands on the market imported from European countries. A Ghanaian-based wine company, Don Emilio, is ready to change the narrative as it partners with Wines of South Africa to promote African-made wine. According to the group, promoting African products will build local capacity to compete with on the world market. The Director of Agricultural Economic Services in South Africa says African countries are capable in bridging the gap.
We are actually wanting to promote our wines into the African continent. And by the way, you know, the Africans must know that there is actually one region in South Africa that is actually producing wines, and we're actually producing those wines for the continent. They must actually enjoy one of their own unique product that is actually made from the South African soil, and they must really enjoy. It's a unique wine. We've got actually diverse wines. They must actually, on top of that, come to South Africa and experience more wines. This is their product. They must actually make use of it.
Meanwhile, the representative of Wines of Africa, Bill Bejura, is cautioning people to drink responsibly as we enter the festive season.
Currently in Ghana, the wine industry is booming. The sales, the volume, the consumption is picking up. It's on the ascent since 2015. We have wine connoisseurs, wine consumers, and wine patriots in Ghana as well. We say patriots in terms of they patronize South African wines very religiously. So we do activations every year in Ghana. So in Ghana, we've gotten a loyal customer base, a consumer base that we're encouraging to drink responsibly and also drink South African wine.
The group is hoping to be the leading producer of wine globally. Prince Owusu-Ansah's report for Joy News.
And that's it for the news. Up next, we serve you the news review. Do stay.